The worst feeling I've ever had with a handgun hasn't come from recoil. It's come from that split second where the gun in my hand has choked or felt wrong, and my brain has gone, oh no, I trusted this thing. I've watched students and buddies stare down at the same models over and over, pretending everything was fine while they quietly planned to dump them later. These 7 guns are the ones that have either betrayed me or betrayed people close to me. Not internet rumor, not fanboy drama, just patterns that kept repeating until it stopped looking like bad luck. Some of them were cheap mistakes. One of them rode in a holster every day while its owner kept making excuses for it. If your carry gun or range toy shows up on this list, there's a reason. So let's start at number 7 and work down to the one that hurt the most. I regretted buying the Ruger EC9S before that class. In February, 2026 was even over. I walked onto the line with it on my hip, feeling clever, thin, light, cheap, Ruger on the slide. I told myself the same thing people keep saying in gun shops. I don't need Glock money to be protected. That lie lasted about 2 drills. Warm-up strings were just annoying. Long, gravelly pull, slide snapping back harder than it had any right to, the gun trying to climb out of my hands every time I pushed the pace. I kept telling myself to quit whining and drive it harder. Then the work started. Draw, fire, move, reload, fire again. The EC9S began nose-diving rounds, missing slide lock and chewing the same spot on my thumb knuckle until my grip was held together by stubbornness, not control. I shot other people's pistols cleaner than the one I just spent my 2026 money on. I left that range with tape on my hand and a gun I didn't trust riding home on my belt. It never went back on as a carry gun. If somebody I care about reaches for an EC9S in 2026, I tell them straight, put it back and spend your regret on something else. I drove into Austin early this year to grab some ammo, not another gun. Then I saw a Kel-Tec PF9 in the used case with a price that felt like a dare. I told myself, I'll grab it, run it once, see what the fuss is about. I took it straight into the indoor lane, target at carry distance. First magazine felt wrong. The grip was too skinny to lock in, the trigger hinged in the middle, the gun twitching every time it broke. Second magazine turned curiosity into regret. The trigger started chewing my finger. The frame twisted and drove the same edge into a joint, and my hand shot after shot. My group looked like I'd never touched a pistol, and I caught myself rushing just to get it over with, not to get better. I cleared it and set it on the shelf. Hand sore, target ugly, and one thought in my head, if I hate this thing in here, I'm lying to myself if I ever carry it out there. When someone calls a PF9 their everyday gun, I don't hear prepared. I hear someone gambling. They'll never have to feel that trigger and that grip when it counts. I won't put one back in a holster, and I don't let people I care about buy them. The Beretta APX A1 Carry didn't sucker me at the counter. It crawled in through my phone. Video after video called it the underrated modern micro with Beretta quality. After a while, it didn't sound like advice. It sounded like, if you're still carrying that old brick, you're behind. One night, I took my regular carry off the dresser and clipped the APX A1 Carry into the same spot. In the mirror, it looked fine. Under the hoodie, it felt wrong. The short grip never gave me a clean handful. It printed in a boxy lump, and one edge chewed the same spot on my side until I thought more about the gun than anything else. The range finished it. Draws from concealment were slower. The gun felt nervous and top-heavy, and my hits drifted until I picked up my old pistol, and they snapped straight back. I regretted upgrading before the first box of ammo was gone. The APX A1 Carry didn't jam or explode. It did something worse. It took a shooter who knew and made him doubt his own draw. I sold mine, and if someone shows me theirs as their carry, I tell them to dump it before it does the same thing to them. Cold Sunday in January, we walked out of church talking about lunch, and my buddy changed the subject to his Walther CCP M2. He patted his side and said, "This thing is perfect for people who hate recoil. Gas system, soft shooter, Walther badge." The way he said it, you think he'd found a cheat code for carrying. Instead of going home, we drove to an outdoor range. Breath in the air, fingers stiff. He loaded a mag and started grinning. Strings felt gentle enough, and he kept nodding like the gun was proving him right. Then the pace picked up. The frame and gas area started warming up until he was shifting his thumb around to dodge the heat. When I took my turn, the slide felt lazy, cycling like it was half asleep, and the reset was mush. One round of defensive ammo hung halfway into the chamber and needed a shove to finish. We ended with that CCP M2 on the bench between us, steaming in the cold. He tried to laugh it off, say it was fine if you don't run it that hard. I told him straight, if a pistol feels hot, slow, and unsure on a quiet Sunday, it has already answered the question. It just said no. The Kimber Solo is the one pistol that made me feel stupid for paying extra. I'd already swapped a boring, bomb-proof carry gun because I wanted something smaller and nicer. On the bench, it looked like it. In the holster, it felt like it. Qualification day is where it cashed that check and bounced it. We were running a concealed carry course with timers and real pressure. First string with the Solo got through on my hollow points, but it felt tight and hesitant. Second string is where the truth came out. One brand of defensive ammo nosedived. The next brand hung halfway into the chamber. Light practice loads barely cycled it. I was clearing more stoppages than shooting, while everyone else's ugly Glocks and M&Ps just kept barking. The instructor finally handed me his beat-up duty gun and said, "Use this and finish the course." Same shooter, same drill, same bullet weight, zero drama. That's when it clicked. I'd paid real money for a pistol that only wanted to run on its favorite boutique diet. The Solo never came back to another qual. It went into the safe as a very expensive reminder that if a carry gun is picky about food, it's already chosen itself over you. I spent years telling people, just get a Glock 26, you can't go wrong, until one carry league night shut me up. Draw from concealment stages with timers, chunky 26 on my belt, me thinking I'd brought the responsible choice. On the line next to me were the new era guns I'd been ignoring. Slim 15s, 43Xs, P365s. First stage, the 26 did what Glocks do. It went bang every time. The problem wasn't reliability. It was everything around it. Reloads felt clumsy on the short, fat grip. It carried like a big gun, but gave me a small gun sight picture. My draw felt slower, and my hits never snapped back, like they did with the longer gun at home. Then I borrowed a friend's slim carry and ran the stage again. Same shooter, same distance, cleaner runs. Standing there with the 26 cooling in my hand, all I could see were the people I'd steered into that middle child. The 26 didn't betray me mechanically. It betrayed the years I spent calling it good enough. The last handgun on this list is worse than that. It isn't a pistol I defended too long. It's the one that ran long enough to earn trust, then started failing when people leaned on it. The moment I stopped trusting the Taurus G3C wasn't on a sunny bench. It was last year, staring at a dead trigger when I needed a bang and got nothing. Light press, click, no shot. Tap rack, get it running again. Pretend it was ammo or dirt or anything but the gun I'd been defending for months. That should have been enough, but I kept carrying it. I'd already told too many people, G3C is fine if you're on a budget. Mine's been solid, so I let that first failure slide. Cleaned it, oiled it, switched ammo, lied to myself, shoved it back in the holster like nothing had happened. The second failure didn't give me that luxury. Faster work, real defensive loads, gun a little dirty, and the G3C coughed again. Round half in the chamber, slide out of battery, trigger dead while my sights were already on target. I cleared it, finished the string, and felt my stomach crawl. Once is bad luck, twice is a verdict. I went home, took the Taurus off my belt, and it never went back on. I can live with wasting money. I can't live with pretending a two-strike gun is still good enough. If your whole carry plan hangs on a G3C, you're gambling the third failure shows up on a range, and not when it actually matters. If you made it through that whole list, you already know I wasn't swinging at brands just to get clicks. Every single one of these guns has either burned me, burned somebody in my classes, or kept landing on the counter at the shop with the same tired stories. Regret has a way of making people defensive. Folks double down, blame ammo, blame their grip, anything but the pistol that keeps letting them down. If a gun has already embarrassed you or scared you once, it has already said everything you needed to hear. So tell me which handgun earned a spot on your regret list and what replaced it. I'm Steve. I've been stacking buyer warnings like this for years, but they start with your stories. Stop defending guns that let you down. Fix the problem.